Hi friends, I have an art project for you today to go along with our spring theme that we've been talking about. If you watched the Marco this morning, you saw that I was showing you some things out in my yard, and one of them was a tulip that had just started to grow. And it had the big green leaves, and there was a tiny little bud on it that's going to turn into a tulip. That's one of my favorite flowers. And so I thought today maybe we could make a tulip picture. And for this picture, the only things you're going to need are a piece of paper, uh, some different colors of paint. And I put mine on just a paper plate. You kind of need to have them out on something because you're going to use a fork to dip in the paint to make your flower. So you're going to need to ask mommy or daddy if it's okay to use a fork first. And then we're going to use these, like I said, to make our tulips. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose a color to dip our fork in. And I've chosen colors that I see tulips in pretty often. I have yellow, orange, red, and pink. And then I have some green on here to make the stems and the leaves. So I'm going to dip my fork in, and I'm going to use my fork to make my flowers. And I'm just going to press it down on my paper and make a little flower. And then I'm going to make another one. And you can make them wherever you want on your paper. And then we'll finish them off with stems in a little bit to make a little spring garden. So I had to take a short little pause because I didn't realize that I couldn't use the same fork for all the colors without mixing them. I'm going to try to use the same fork, but I had to get some paper towels. So you can either get something like these paper towels to wipe your fork off with after you get finished with one color, or you could ask if you could use more than one fork, and you'll need as many forks as you have colors. So now that I've wiped my fork off, I'm going to go ahead and dip it in to the next color, and I'm using red right now. And I'm going to put some more flowers on my paper. That one wants to stick. Uh-oh. That paint is a little bit thick, so I'm going to dab it off. All right. And I'm going to do it kind of off to the side, so maybe it looks like it's kind of leaning, or it's the wind's blowing it a little bit. And then I'm going to wipe off my fork again with my paper towel and try to get as much of the paint off as I can. And then I'm going to try another color. Now I think I'll try some pink flowers. And I'm going to make some of these a little bit shorter. A little bit more paint. And then I'll make this one right here a little bit taller. And maybe I'll do one more right next to this one. Okay, last time. I'm going to wipe my fork off. Try to get as much paint off as I can. And then I'm going to use my last color, orange, with my fork. Whoops, I got a little extra paint there, so I'm going to dab that off. And then we'll make some orange tulips up here and up here and down here. You can put them wherever you want. And then I'm all finished with my fork. So I'm going to leave that there. And I have a paintbrush. So I'm going to use my paintbrush to make the stems and the leaves on my flowers. And basically all you need to do to make a stem is to make a line. You might make it straight or you might want to make it a little bit curved, but you're just making a line. So I'm going to get some green paint on my brush, and I'm going to start making stems for my flowers. So I'm going to pull this down to the bottom so it looks like it's growing up from the ground. And then I'm going to make this one leaning a little bit. And this one, this kind of reminds me of our flowers on the other video for the first day of spring, where you were all flowers in my garden. I kind of did the stems the same way for that picture. And I'm going to keep making stems until I have one for each of my flowers. Now, depending on where your flowers are, might be a little bit tricky to make your stem, but you just try to pull it down to the ground without touching the other flowers too much. And there we go. And remember, I said some of these look like they're kind of leaning, or maybe the breeze is blowing them if it's a little bit of a breezy day. And just a few more to go. This one's way up high. Might need a little bit more paint to finish that one, because that one's a long, long stem. And we'll pull this one down with these others. And then you can either be finished with your picture, or if you want, you can make some big leaves at the bottom for your tulips. So you can do it to some of them or all of them. It's up to you. I'm going to make a few more leaves, because if you remember, if you saw the video on those plants, they have big, wide green leaves at the bottom. So I think I'm going to do one more, and then you can see what we're doing, and you can make a picture just like this at your house. If you decide to make your own tulip picture, be sure to show it to me and tell me how it turned out. If you have ideas for a different kind of flower that you would like to see me try, or that you did at your house, let me know. All right, I'll see you.